this in. There we go. I think that might fix the issue. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a yes if I'm coming through all right. Am I audible now? Can you guys hear me now, Justin and Anthony and everybody else? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Give me a yes in the chat if I'm coming through all right. Give me a yes if you can hear me okay. And I'm so sorry for that confusion. That was my fault. You're talking to a person who messes up the technology a lot. I'm kind of a techie guy. I like technology, but sometimes technology does not like me. I don't know if anybody else goes through that. And that's what you're looking at right now. That you're just looking at a black man who's trying to figure it out. I'm just doing my best. You know what I mean? Just doing my best. Anyway, so thank you all for letting me know that the audio wasn't coming through. So let me get started and talk to you guys about what was on my mind today. The word is racism, and racism is real. Let me know if you believe that racism is a real thing. Let me know if you think that America is a fundamentally racist country. If you believe that America still has a racial issue, then put a yes in the chat. Because I think it's important to kind of start the conversation there. I like to talk to intelligent black people around the world. A lot of you are intelligent, even if you didn't go to school. Even if you didn't go to school, there's a lot of unintelligent idiots who went to school, who have all the degrees, all the letters behind their name, who are not that smart. So I'm not saying black people who went to school. I'm saying black people who want to be intelligent. Give me a yes if you're in that category. All right. So anyway, here's what got my attention. There was this video. And this video featured a brother and a white guy, both of whom tried to do the same thing. Both of them either were blind or were pretending to be blind. And what they did was they had each guy, the white guy and the black guy, walk up. Did anybody else see this video where they walked up to random white people and tried to grab their arm to get help walking like a blind person? You know, you hold a blind person's arm. And what this video showed was that when the black guy came up and tried to put his arm on somebody else's arm, they kind of pushed him away. But when the white guy, tried to put his arm around somebody else or put his arm, connect arms with somebody, they were happy to help him. I'm going to show this video, and then I'm going to kind of give you my take on this in terms of what I'm seeing. And so let me know. I'm going to put it on the screen. Let me know. Give me a yes if you can see this video. I'm going to play it, and then we're going to kind of analyze this. And then we'll ask ourselves this question: is racism real, or is it a thing of the past? So here's a video. All right. So you all saw this video, and I'd like to start the conversation by asking you a basic question. How many of you saw this video and just felt sick to your stomach? Let me know. Let me know. How many of you watched the video and felt bad for the brother and just hated it and didn't enjoy watching it? I did. I'm in that category. I did not enjoy watching that video. That was kind of torturous. You kind of feel bad for the brother out there trying to figure it out. I hope he's not really blind. I hope he was pretending. If he's really blind, that's got to be demoralizing and very painful and very sad. All right. So let me ask you another question. How many of you feel that the video is a pretty accurate depiction of kind of race in America. How many of you feel that this video? I'd like to start by conversation by asking you questions so we can get to the key point. How many of you feel that this video kind of shows that, that the world is kind of a sick place, that the black man is seen differently from the white man, that that racism's real, that black folks are not treated the same as white folks? What do y'all think? How many of you would agree with that statement? If I were to make that statement, that this video just kind of shows you that America, not as much as changing the society as we might think. Okay, all right. So I see a lot of yeses in the chat, and I want to start the conversation there. I want John Heinrich Clark, actually, and Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote Powernomics, and some others, have pretty much made a statement that I consider to be pretty accurate. They basically said that black people don't have any friends. That black people, we don't have true allies. We only have people that pretend to be allies so they can use us. We have people that pretend to be our friend so they can get something from us. We are kind of the economic and the political and the social stepchild of America. There's nobody that really embraces us. In fact, they treat, even in cities like Chicago with a black mayor, some would argue that that black people receive less support than even people who just got to this country, right? And I agree with what Dr. Heinrich Clark said, and I'd be curious to know if you guys agree with that statement as well. And so, one of the things I would like to ask you as we sort of look at this video and the atrociousness, the sadness of it all, is this. I'd like to ask you another question. What is it about white people that makes you so obsessed with whether or not they like you? I want to ask you this question, and I ask you this question because I dare to say that this is a form of white supremacy. Well, I ask it again. What is it about white folks that makes you feel that if they did like you, if they were to hold your hand if you were walking down the street blind, if they did, give you $1 when you wanted $1, if they did tell you that they thought you were special and they liked you, what is it about white people and their approval, their acceptance, etc., that just makes you feel like you've hit the mountaintop? And do you get what I'm going with this? Give me a yes if you get where I'm going with this. I really encourage you to consider this. I think that we have to really consider as black people that this is another form of white supremacy. Another form of white supremacy. Let me give you an example. I saw a video that somebody sent me, and they said, Dr. Watkins, this makes me mad. This makes me mad, right? And I said, what makes you mad? Why are you mad today? Who made you mad? And they said, this video, look at this video. And they sent me this video. I kid you not. It was a video of a toothless hillbilly that had yellow all in his teeth, the ones that were not missing. He had a couple of yellow teeth in his mouth, and he was an old, dirty, raggedy old man that lived in a small country town. And he was saying all these terrible things about black people, right? Just these things like, well, you know how the Negroes are, and the black people this, and they did it, they all they want to do is shoot each other and make babies and not take care of them, right? And you know what I said? I said to my friend, I said, what makes you care what this ignorant person has to say about you? He's clearly ignorant. He's clearly a bum. He's clearly a redneck. Do you understand that the only relevance that he has in his life right now is the relevance that you're giving him? That somehow you promoted him to some sort of important status because you somehow feel that his approval of you is an important thing. Give me a guess if you're following what I'm saying. I need to know that you guys are getting what I'm saying. Think about this. If you are a raggedy Negro, let's say you're a raggedy brother who, you're a homeless person and you got, 2 teeth in your mouth because you've been smoking meth and you're ignorant and you're just kind of a non-entity in the world, and then you just say something to white people like, I think y'all are stupid, or I think that y'all are ignorant. Do you think that most white people would stop in their tracks, like stop literally and stop what they're doing, risk going to jail, whatever it is, just so they can confront you? Like, do you think that they would just say, oh, I'm gonna drop my kids, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna tell this person what I think, and you're bad because you think that we're like, I don't really think that white people would give us that honor. I don't think they'd give us the honor and the privilege of disrupting their day. Not to put them on a pedestal, not to talk about them specifically, but just generally speaking, I don't really think that they would give us even the honor of even getting offended. So really what you got to understand is you have to think carefully about what it means to fight racism. Sometimes fighting racism can literally mean ignoring it. Sometimes it can mean, fighting systematic racism could literally mean just leaving the system. When I'm in the places where I'm not wanted, I don't stick around and engage and fight with the people that don't want me. I don't sit around and do like anybody remember that song in Dreamgirls where that lady's like, no, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm staying. I'm staying. I don't want to be free. You gonna love me. And she's basically like this desperate woman who's like, you're gonna love me. You're gonna engage me. I'm not going nowhere. And I really think that is kind of the most pathetic song I've ever heard. It's if a woman ever sings a song like that to you, you better run. If a man sings that song to you, he's probably a stalker. And definitely anybody, if you ever find yourself singing that song to another person who don't want you around, send me an email and then I'll explain to you why you have to go to a therapist and work on your self-esteem. That's what I'm going to do. I know a lot of good black therapists. I'm married to one. And I will tell you that you sitting there singing that song to somebody who does not like you, who wants you gone, who's tired of you, who does not see your worth, is probably the greatest waste of your time imaginable. But don't be embarrassed if you've ever done it. A lot of us have done it. A lot of you guys have probably gone through the experience of wanting a girl who didn't want you. Baby, baby, please. Right? A lot of you ladies have gone through the process of giving your best to a man who wasn't giving you his best, giving your best to a man who didn't give you the time of day, but in ignoring the man who really loves you, who really wants you, who really adores you. Well, that, in my opinion, the fact that you would give your best to the person who gives you their worst says you don't value yourself. It says you don't see your worth. Do you follow what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying? It says that you don't understand what you can offer to this world, because if you really know your value, then you don't need them to see your value. If you really know your value, then you'll go somewhere where your value will be respected. If I have the most valuable diamond on the planet and I try to go sell it on the street to ignorant people who don't know what a valuable diamond looks like, then that means I'm selling it on the wrong street. I'm not going to sit here and beg somebody who doesn't see the value of a diamond and say, well, this is a cubic, a Cuban blue diamond. This is one of the rarest diamonds in the world. You idiot! You don't understand the value of this diamond. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, okay, no problem, and I'm going to go somewhere where people can understand the value of a diamond. So I think that black people, we are diamonds. I think that we are, culturally speaking and politically and economically and intellectually and everything else, when we're at our best, we're absolute diamonds. Intelligent black people are going to run the world one day. I am absolutely insistent upon it. I'm absolutely certain about it. And I know I'm a diamond, and I know you a diamond too. In fact, if you see yourself as a diamond and your kids are a diamond, then type the word diamond in the chat. That's our word for today. The word is diamond. I want you to see your value. I want you to see your worth, and I want you to understand that your worth is given to you by God. It's not contingent on whether or not white people approve of it. It's not contingent upon whether or not white people see it. It's not contingent upon whether or not white people acknowledge it. Their acknowledgement is an illusion. Thank you for that term, Ameeman. It's an illusion of inclusion. It's an illusion of value. It's an illusion of acceptance. It's an illusion that somehow your worth has increased because other people are acknowledging that or noticing that, and that's just silly. That's just stupid. Anyway, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. I'm going to make this a quick conversation today. I am going to flight training in a minute. I'm doing my airplane training. So I do that every morning. So I'm about to head on out of here and do that. Also, my new Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance. So if you're looking for me on the gram, just know sometimes when you're black, you get banned for no reason. And so they tore down my Instagram, The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you're one of the 433,000 people that follow me on Instagram, you can just follow me at Dr. Boyce Finance. It's a much smaller page anyway, so we can have better conversations. It gets rid of the bots and stuff because I'm sure out of the 430,000 people, 130,000 of them were bots. I got tired of the bots. So so Dr. Boyce Finance is where you can follow me. And also my website is boycewatkins.com if you'd like to go there. And there's a lot of free stuff on my website, so feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. Okay, so let me mention another thing. So we're talking about this experiment where this man is basically, there's a black man and a white man, and they're both blind. theoretically, and they're walking up to people and they're putting their arm random on random people to see what the reaction is going to be. The black guy gets rejected, the white guy gets accepted. I'm gonna show this video again real quick for those of you that just came in, and I have one more observation to make about this video that I want you guys to see. So here's the video. I'm gonna play just a little bit of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I want to kind of sort of re-up it for those of you who just came. Actually played the whole video because I wanted to grab a couple screenshots off of it to make a point that I think is relevant and worth looking at. All right. So here's the thing. I want to make this 100% clear. I'm of the belief that black people have no friends. I'm of the belief that this everything in this video is completely plausible. I'm of the belief that you have each other and that's it. I'm in the John Heinrich Clark camp that says, that white folks are not that important anyway. But yet, if you were dependent upon them to clean up your communities, fix your families, and make your life better, you're gonna be waiting a long time because I don't think they give a damn. I want to make that clear. But one thing I also want to do, just for educational purposes, is point to you a couple of things about this. Again, I'm a researcher. I was on the faculty at Syracuse University doing statistical research for a long time. And the thing is, I understand how data can be manipulated to pursue an agenda. I understand how there is what you call selection bias. And I've done research papers on selection bias and deep dive analysis on selection bias. And I'm explaining to you what this is. What selection bias basically means is that basically you can have a tendency to point out the data that support your point of view, right? You can and then ignore the data that doesn't support your point of view, right? So, for example, pharmaceutical companies, if they want to prove to you that that it's important to get a drug or a certain shot, they might manipulate the study and take out the data that doesn't support what they're doing and add in the data that does support what they're trying to say. An attorney, a defense attorney, may go to court. Give me some yeses to let me know you're following this point, so because I don't want to talk over anybody's head, and I want to make sure we understand this concept. So, like, if you go to court, a defense attorney is never going to present any evidence that their client might be guilty. They could take the craziest axe murderer and make him look like a complete angel, and the prosecutor could take any angel and make him look like an axe murderer, right? Because their job is not the prosecutor's job is not to present any data that will exonerate the person. They're trying to prove that they're guilty, and the defense attorney is trying to prove that they're innocent. So you get these two extremes. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so that is what you call selection bias. Selection bias is when I present data that pursues my agenda. So with this experiment, again, I want to make it 100% clear. I'm not at all saying that this cannot communicate racism because I told you I don't. I'm not sitting around waiting for white folks to do nothing for me. I don't. No disrespect if you're white. It's just you don't have the track record to show that black people matter that much to you, and I'm okay with that because I think that we can take care of our own anyway, for the most part. So here's the thing when I see these clips of the black man locking arms and getting rejected, and the white man locking arms and being accepted, I would probably ask the people who took this video, how many clips did you get? Are we looking at every single instance that you recorded of the black man trying to lock arms with somebody? Were there any was there any scenarios where there was a white person who said, yeah, I'll take the black guy's arm, and then they said, no, that doesn't fit our agenda. We're not going to take that one, right? And this is the danger of politics, right? Because if you present it this way, it can look like 100% of the white people wanted to be next to the white guy, and 100% of the white people didn't want to be next to the black guy. I don't know if that's all the data. I'd like to see if you took, let's say 40 clips of the black man grabbing a white person's arm. What percentage of those 40 clips did the white person actually grab their arm? If you're trying to convince me that it was 0% of the time, I wouldn't believe you. I just wouldn't believe you, because honestly, as much as I will call out racism all day, I'll talk about systematic problems and all that. I don't think every single white person wakes up saying, "How can I just prove that how much I hate black people today?" I think that I know that's what they want you to believe. I know that that's how politics works. I know that they benefit by keeping you in constant fear of the white man. Like, oh my Lord Jesus, there's a white guy. He's going to kill me. There's a cop. He can't wait to shoot me. I don't think that's just not reality. That's what you see on the internet, but that's just not true. So it doesn't mean that I don't think that there's a racial bias. It doesn't mean that the black guy got rejected more than the white guy. I believe that that's probably true. But if you ask me to bet money, if you said, Boyce, I want you to bet $1 million that there was not, whether there was one single white person who didn't reject the black man, I would take that bet. I'd be like, I bet you out of 30 white people, maybe there's like four who would actually say, you know what, I don't care what color you are. I don't care if he's black or white. He's a blind man. I want to help a blind man, right? So that's the first point I want to make, right? So again, I make this point by reminding you that John Henry Clark said we have no friends, and that's what I tend to believe. But I also try to have something that isn't really present in society, isn't encouraged, which is critical thinking skill, as well as an understanding of nuance. Everything ain't as black and white as they present it to be in the media. And I encourage you to consider what I'm saying, because they manipulate with this nonsense. Their goal is to keep black people in constant fear, constantly begging white folks for acceptance, constantly feeling like you're always hated and rejected everywhere you go. And what that does is that triggers you. That makes you act out. That makes you assume every single time anything happens to you that it must be racism. And then what happens is that it ends up making you an undesirable person to be around. Has anybody ever been around a woman, for example, who thinks every single thing is sexism? Has anybody ever been around a woman who thinks that if you say, "Hey, lady, you're kind of mean right now. Would you please be quiet, or would you please stop acting ratchet?" You just saying that because I'm a woman. You just saying that because I'm a woman, right? No, I'm not saying it because you're a woman. I'm saying it because you're an asshole, right? And the thing is that there are black people, who act like this, who think every single thing. Like you had a job, you didn't get up to go to work, you didn't show up on time, you didn't do your job effectively, you came in smoking, smelling like weed, you were messing up left and right, and then you get fired, and then you say, well, they did it to me because I'm black. Well, that's a disrespect to all other hardworking black people who do their job correctly. That's disrespectful to those of us who really do show up and get screwed over, right? It's no different from the Me Too movement. In the Me Too movement, you had a lot of women who slept with Bill Cosby in the 1970s and got a couple dollars for it, who came out and said, "Oh, well, he did it to me too. He exploited me too." Well, how did he exploit you? Well, he talked me into taking drugs. He convinced me to do it. But you didn't decide to take the drug. No, I got manipulated because I was just the manipulable woman, and he did it to me too. So what I'm saying to you is that if you don't get your stuff, if you don't get your shit right when it comes to your conversations about race, racism, sexism, or any other ism or inequality, it waters down and undermines everything that you're trying to do. It makes people not respect you. You're letting any old raggedy person tie into your agenda and say, yeah, they did it to me too. I'm a victim too, right? No, so I would just say to you that again, I am a believer in what John Henry Clark said. I don't think black people have any friends. If you are black and you're waiting for your allies, you're gonna be waiting for the rest of your life. If you think that the world is going to support you in getting reparations or whatever, you're a damn fool. Sorry, let me say it again. I don't want to be mean. You're wrong. I think you're highly incorrect. This is one of the reasons why I've always said in the next election, I'm not voting Democrat. I'm not voting Republican. I'm voting for black people, period. So I want to make that clear. And I want you to understand, give me a yes if you understand how both of those things can be true. You can be a full believer that racial differences and inequality and unfairness does exist, but you can also understand that sometimes that there are people that use racism to promote a certain agenda by keeping you in constant fear and constantly on your heels and constantly afraid of white folks. It's one thing to be diligent. It's another thing when you're constantly scared, and then next thing you know, the Democrats come along and say, "Well, just vote for us, and we'll fix it. We'll fix the problem." No, I don't believe you're gonna fix the problem. All right, so that's the first. That's the first point I want to make on this. Second point I want to make here is this: I want you to take a look, and I want you to look at the difference in how the two men are presented. If you look at the clothing that they're wearing, the black man is wearing like a t-shirt, and some dark sunglasses. The white guy, he looks like some guy, some buppy from Malibu. He looks like, a Hollywood actor or something. I don't know, a playwright or something. The black guy looks like the dude from CB4 when Chris Rock. Anybody remember Chris Rock in CB4? That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of the dude from CB4. And then this guy looks like, a super safe yuppie from the suburbs. Now, I'm not saying that this should make a difference, and maybe this is a non-entity, but the best way to do an experiment, and this is just me speaking as an academic scientist here, the best way to do an experiment is to make everything consistent across the board. If you really want to prove that two situations are different, or that there's a variable that changes the outcome, it's very important to make sure everything is consistent. So if you really want to do an experiment like that, here's what you got to do. Two things. One, show me every single interaction. Don't just show me the ones that fit your agenda. Show me every single time the black man grabbed a white person's arm. I'd like to see that. And then number two, make sure they wear the same clothes. They should be dressed exactly alike, so that there's no bias there in terms of just like, if the reality is that for a lot of black people, if you look like you from the street, they may react differently than if you look like you're not from the street. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's fair. Sure, I know lots of people from the street. I grew up with people around, that live in the street. My daddy's from the street, and my mama is too. I was born in the project, so I'm not disrespecting anything about being from the street. But what I'm saying is that there are racial stereotypes out there, and just stereotypes in general, where you have seen people that will, because the media has presented the urban image as kind of like the person who might rob you. There are people who get scared. There are people who just might feel like, and again, this is all because, think about this, you got to be thoughtful about the kind of music you let those people promote that's supposed to be representing your community. When they're presenting black men all around the world as gangsters, thugs, irresponsible baby daddies, and hoodlums, and guys that want to kill you, then what in the hell makes you think that they're going to be happy to see you coming? What in the hell makes you think they're gonna feel comfortable around you? You're cheering this nonsense on. You're looking up to this, like, oh, that's good. Let's keep it a gangster, y'all. Okay, keep it gangster if you want to. But guess what? Ain't nobody comfortable with a gangster walking up, grabbing their arm, trying to be next to them. So I'm trying to say to you that you got to be thoughtful about the way you let these people present your image to the world. When I come and I speak out on hip hop and I say, why is Lizzo out here acting like a buffoon, fulfilling every negative stereotype about black women she can come up with, and we think that that's good? We're cheering that on, and you're calling me a sexist because I'm calling it out. That's me basically saying, let's preserve the image of the black woman, so that every black woman that gets a regular job isn't going to go on her job and have her boss think that she's nothing but a whore. That there are people that really think that. They think that if you're a black woman, give me a yes if you've seen this. They think if you're a black woman, you automatically identify with Cardi B, you automatically identify with Megan the Stallion, you're the person that can teach a class on twerking, right? They think these things, right? Or if you're a black man, they assume that you must be of a certain intellectual level. They don't expect you to be very intelligent. They don't expect you to work very hard. They don't expect you to take care of kids. Have you ever listened to people talk about black people? Like literally, there are foreign people that come to the country, and when I'm talking about even black people, the people from Africa have said this to their kids. They'll say, "Don't date an African American man." You know what they say? They say, because he will get you pregnant and he will abandon the kids. Give me a yes if you know what I'm talking about. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. There are people that will say that. They'll say, "Girl, baby, don't date a black man in America, because all black men want to do is get it on, and then when they get you pregnant, they're gonna abandon the kids because most of them don't want to be fathers." Give me a yes if you know what I'm talking about. This is real stuff. Where did this come from? A lot of these people ain't even met an African American. Where did they get this stereotype from? Oh, from media. From media. That's why it's important to talk about how media is portraying black people, and stop celebrating Negroes just because they're on TV or just because they got a record deal. Some of these people are making you feel good in the front door because their music is good, but making you look like a damn fool because they got the whole world thinking that you want to run out here and gang bang and shoot people and kill each other and use drugs and be ignorant all day. And that's a complete disrespect to every black man out here that I know. And I know a lot of them. I know a lot of y'all taking care of your kids, working hard, doing your best for your woman, loving black women, loving the community, educating yourself, working hard every day to be a better person. You're not seen. You're not seen because people think you're uppity or people think you're unrealistic. People look at me and they're like, wow, you're rare. I'm like, no, actually, I'm not as rare as you think. I know a lot of intelligent black people all around the world. You just don't put them on TV because you want to put the niggas on TV. You want the nigga culture all over the world. You want everybody to see that, but you don't want them to see people like me. That's why they don't talk to people like me. That's why they're afraid of people like me. So anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. I got to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you have not done this yet. Also, I want to remind you, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Dr Boyce Finance. Don't forget the All Black National Convention, which is the biggest think tank and family reunion on earth for intelligent black people. It's happening October 20th in Atlanta. We've got over 40 experts. These are the people that are not seen, but they're seen by us. And then even entertainers and all kinds of people that are really building the community. And we're doing trainings on everything from how to build a strong family to politics to economics. Of course, we're going to cover wealth and stocks and investing and all that. But then also we talk about all the other areas that matter in terms of improving black quality of life. We cannot wait for other people to do it. I believe we must do this ourselves. And that's what the All Black National Convention is all about. So if you have a black owned business and you'd like to be a sponsor, we will market you on this platform. If you want to come as a vendor, you can sell your stuff at the convention. People will buy it if it's a good product. And then also, if you would like to just be in attendance, bring your family, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. Last but not least, if you'd like to get Dr. Boyce profit alerts, I will text you once a week with stocks that I like. I'll also text you our $5 a day investing plan that will take any family from poverty to wealth in less than a generation. I'll send you a training on how to make money without working. Just text the word stock to 31996. If you text stock to 31996, you can get on that list. All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful day. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all soon. Take care now. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.